Yo, what's up guys, iReapism here, and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be taking a look at a toggleable infinite breeding cell. Now this concept was designed by Doc M77, but the design he used was broken in 1.5, and I asked him if I could update the design because I wanted to build something similar in my own world, and I wanted to fix it, and then I asked him, and he granted me permission to update it for him. So, as you could probably saw, there's a permission, and let's move on with the tutorial. Before we start building, guys, I wanted to tell you this, that if you haven't seen Doc M's video on building this, I highly suggest you should, because he's going to cover how things work inside of the game code and all of that things and how it works exactly. And I will try my best to do that, but still I can't recommend enough that he is going to be more explanatory in those kind of fields in the game. So without further ado, let's get started with how this works. Now before we do that, I want to tell you guys that I'm going to split this tutorial into sections and contents. So you could click here, and if you want to learn how to build it, you could click the how to build, and if you want to just learn how it works, click that, and what it does. And you could go ahead and click those, and it's just separated in comments just so you could get the most out of this tutorial without watching the whole thing, but I do highly suggest watching the whole thing anyways. So the concept is pretty simple. Once the villager is up here, I toggled breeding mode on. Now, as you could probably tell, it might take a while for them to realize they are allowed to breed, and that is best explained by the randomization in calling methods and functions, probably in the game code, which allows them to start breeding. Now, I'm not entirely familiar with Minecraft code, so I will just leave that to Doc M. Anyways, guys, what happens once they realize they could breed, you'll start seeing hard effects, and we'll get to that in a sec. And once that happens, they'll probably have a child, and this will toggle infinite breeding, because what's happening is, with that villager up here, he is going to send a signal to them saying that they could breed, while these guys are going to continually breed when this guy keeps sending a signal, hypothetically speaking, of course, and once they keep receiving the signal, it's going to keep happening infinitely. As far as your computer could handle, of course, that's the limitations here. And that's what this design's all about. And then once we send them down, they stop breeding and they get into these corners. Okay, for now, to test it out, guys, I'm going to go ahead and speed the process up by actually adding villagers myself. Now they will breed by themselves in survival. So just keep that in mind. I'm just speeding up the process. Before you start building, you might want to round up some villagers in a fenced off area or a 2-block high area so they cannot escape when building. Okay guys, as you can probably tell, we see some hard effects. Now I increase the chances of it happening. The probability is now increased. But let's see how it works. I want to press this button to stop breeding, and now this guy is down here. And now he's contained in here just in case on your world you have zombies around the area, and he will most likely be safe. Just to be even more safe, add half slabs right there, and now he's even more safe. But other than that, guys, once these guys, as you can see, once the villager is down here, you saw that dispenser release water. And once we press this button, a villager is taken out right here, and we could examine his trades and see if they're worthwhile. Now, obviously, if they're not worthwhile, like this one, you probably don't want to start off a trade like this, and you have a nice way of disposing them. It might not be humanely, but it is practical. So as you can see, more hearts are being triggered. This is increasing the probability, and as you can see, they're dying off. And this is what's been broken in the 1.5 is dispenser behavior. Now let me go ahead and trigger on my volume here. And as you could probably tell, when before 1.5, this is what DocM used, which was the best thing ever. It was so compact. And that should have ticked twice, but now what happens, since the button is powering the dispenser for 10 ticks, and this comes 1 tick later to come back on again, there's slightly a change where that doesn't work anymore. So that's why I had to come and modify it like this. And that's why it's a bit more bulky. And we'll come up to a content area that I just thought about of finalizing the design. So you don't see any of this redstone. So you should be able to go up when I press this button. As you can see, he went up. The water is no longer here, allowing them to breed, and as you can see we have a child, but I think that's when I right clicked one of the villagers by an accident. Alright guys, that's about going to sum it up for how it works, and let's build one of these. So I marked out an area over there, and let's say guys you want to build, let's say about 2, 3, 4, 10 of them on a server or in a single player world. You have to keep in mind of spacing these guys out, because what would happen is these guys might link up with a village that we create up here, this mock-up village. Now to us, this does not look like a village, like a very habitable village, but in the game, this is how a village can be manipulated for a full village and allowing these guys to breed. Alright guys, so we could go ahead and start here. I'm actually going to set the time to day, so this could help us. And we start off by digging a 3 by 2, 3 deep. And that's simple, and then we cover that with a top slab of your choice, and you have plenty of slabs to choose from as shown right here. Once that's done, you want to go ahead and put 2 blocks here, 2 blocks like this, like so, and put buttons like that. Now make sure you're doing this on the 3 side. The next thing you can do is put glass, which is highly recommended, so you could see villager activity within this area without actually being in this area. So it is recommended, so just keep that in mind. If you're not putting glass there, that's fine, but I do recommend it anyways. But to finalize this part of the build, we're going to put blocks like this, and leave this one opened, and I'm going to place an iron block down there so I could see it below when we add some redstone. And the next thing we want to do is place a dispenser here and come back over here, and we want to build 2 high, put another button here, 2 high, button here. Now make sure with these iron blocks here represent solid blocks that redstone could transmit power into and or have specific characteristics that allow the minecart to launch off when the button is pressed. So after we do all of that, I think we should start monitoring and hooking up the actual killer design over here, and that's how we do it. We place 4 blocks like so, and make sure we have our dispenser right here. I'm sorry if that wasn't best explanatory, but I'm gonna lay it out really quick and then we're gonna build the next one. And we need sand or gravel. We'll use gravel in this one just so I could show you it works. And over here we have redstone and repeaters. So we just line the redstone right here, and repeater, repeater, repeater. Put a piston facing up, and then place a gravel or sand block right above that, and make sure these ones are at 4 ticks. Now how this works guys is when I press the button you're going to hear 2 ticks. As you can see, you heard the dispenser tick twice, and that's going to dispense and retract the lava for a good amount of time, which will kill the villager and not make it update and destroy your tracks that are going to be down there very soon. The reason I had to do it this way, and you make sure you do not place a redstone right here, because what's going to happen is now this redstone is going to power this block for 10 ticks, and even though we're going to get a monostable circuit, this will still be powered even after this is done transmitting its power. So make sure you put a redstone repeater here. Now for a more explanatory version on how to build that, we just place a block right next to that button, kind of, and we go ahead and place the piston like so, go 2 out, place your repeaters, and down here, make sure this is on 1 tick, and we go ahead and right click those repeaters to make them 4 ticks. And then we're going to go ahead, bring back our redstone, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to use that block right there to go ahead and place my dispenser, and we could delete that block if you'd like. Now it is recommended that you do have a block there just so you could complete the design and make it more compact. And as you can see, we have very much working dispensers, as you could probably tell when I put in these lava buckets and I press it. They're dispensed for a good amount of time, allowing the villager to perish. Now the next thing you want to do is go ahead and get these specific powered rails and rails in your inventory, and you're going to go ahead and put powered rails right there, and same thing on the other side, and then in between them put one rail. And we're going to have to power this one by default. It should always be powered. And you could come to the back here and put a redstone lever, a regular lever down, and they should be defaultly powered forever. After that, we could go ahead and claim that this works and this works indefinitely. So let's go ahead and continue on with designing this. So what we're going to do is we're going to place blocks up like this. And this is about the time where you want to put your villagers in here. So start rounding up your villagers and place them in here. And make sure you do not put the water bucket in here until we're about that time in the tutorial when we do so. Next, what you want to do, just to make it more pretty, is place blocks like so. Destroy that block, but do not place anything there. And so now it looks a bit more better. And now what you want to do is underneath the floor, you could always dig underneath, you don't have to break, but if you didn't put your villagers in yet, you could go ahead and break that. And you want to get your redstone out, and all you're going to need is a torch and redstone dust to do this. And we're going to bring that about 2-3 blocks out. And actually, I just thought about, before we do that, let's hook up the top part of this area. So as a matter of fact, you want your villagers in here first, and what you want to do now is place slabs like so, just so you could compact the design a bit and make it a little bit more nicer. You could always put slabs like that and around here as well, and now it just looks very flat and pretty nice, I'd have to say. For lighting issues, you want to just put torches right there, or you could put any glowstone on the side here, but make sure it does not interfere with the redstone that we're about to place. Next thing you want to do is break one of these blocks and place a redstone by shift clicking the dispenser, so the redstone will appear on that. And that's the only flaw that I see with this design, but it's not bad. It's completely sealed from everywhere around. So now it looks like that redstone is being powered from some other place. And now what we do is we go ahead and build over that. And the way we do that is very simple. We do something like that. And we build out a bit and make sure we don't hit that area. And we keep going up until we're about right here. And yeah, this is about right. Actually, make sure when you build up, there's 4 like this. Actually, my bad, guys. And then what you want to do when you see buttons, just go over them with 3x3 like this, and place a torch right here. And then go up about 2 blocks, and you could do this afterwards. Just go up like so, place a block, torch, and then keep doing the same thing. And this will be the last one, a torch right there. You could replace those middle blocks with a glowstone or redstone lamps, but I'd highly recommend redstone lamps because I don't think you could place tracks on glowstone yet. Next thing you want to do is place doors on the outside. So in total, you're going to need about 12 doors, and that's basically it. You could place them in any way, just make sure they're all like that. And now guys, what we're going to do is get our rails, and we're going to get set up here. As a matter of fact, you want to get rid of that redstone. I just realized that we're going to actually have to get rid of that. and you're going to put your torch here or on the side of this, because that would be the only valid place to put it. And what you're going to do is get rid of this block, and you're going to place a nice button right there so you could toggle it on and off whenever you please. Now what you want to do from this power track is place rails 2 like this, place another one, a regular rail, or a detector rail, place another one, regular rail, regular rail, regular rail, powered rail, then back with a block, a solid block behind it. Now this is where we come back and go to the redstone, and you probably already covered it up and have your villagers in there, and just make sure you could already get back down here. And what you want to do is get your torch out, your redstone, and a block of your choice, just so you can mark out where your redstone is for future maintenance if needed. And you could go ahead and press, or actually place your blocks right here, and go ahead and make a nice line leading down here. And you could keep doing that. And I've already localized it, and you just place a torch there. And what we're doing is inverting it, so whenever the button is pressed, this will turn on, making the villager stationary here, or right up there. Alright guys, we're about time. This is about time where we're almost done with the build, so let me mock it up as you guys would have it. You would have 2 villagers over here, and there you go. You would have 2 villagers like so. You would have this lighting glitch right under the part where the redstone is right there. Okay, there you go. You have a block right here. And I'm sorry to say I actually messed up a bit. We want to make sure the detector rail is right above that redstone. And it should be right there. And now we should be good. And the way we're going to power that is we're going to get rid of this, place a solid block, get a lever, and place it like so, just so we don't see it from this side. And the next thing we want to do is place one up here, and unfortunately you might see that. You could always, have a nice covering above here, and that should help with whatever you're doing. That could always, help you if you don't want to see any sort of redstone in your way. But in my opinion, I think it would be fine. Next things next, what you want to do after that is you want to get a minecart, and you want to get a villager inside of that, and you want to test out and see if it works, of course. And the way we do that is you push a minecart into a villager, and he should, by default, reach the track, or get inside of the minecart, as we would say. So what you want to do is make sure that this detector rail is right above this block, which is above the redstone that you will see right here. So this block is being directly powered, which powers the redstone, which powers the dispenser, giving that effect where it's toggleable. Now guys, the villager is not up here, and we want him when he's up here, the water should be out. And the way we do that is we get our water bucket and we place it in there like so. We go ahead and patch it up, and afterwards what we do is we come over around here, and we want to get a button or a lever, and we want to just power it. And now by default these guys should the water should be dispensed, and when we press this, the villager should ride up and the water should retract. And make sure, as you can see right there, perfect, hearts are already started, and if we want to get rid of that, we can already start it like so. Now guys, what you want to do is make sure the villager is down here for maintenance purposes, or actually up there. Make sure they're breeding, so you have plenty of time to get a good amount of villagers to start your villager trading. And what you want to do now is place your minecarts here, and it's ready. It's basically ready to go. And let's speed up the process by manually adding villagers like so. And that should be a good amount, a very good amount actually. And now this is on breeding mode. The way you learn how it's on breeding mode is if they're not jumping around in the water, it's on breeding mode, and when you press that, they should be in water mode. Or actually, when you press this, they should be in water mode. Now, there's obvious reasons why there's no water here. I accidentally I inverted it. What happened? And the way you fix that is you come back here with a button, and that should fix it. And you come back, and it should be up there. Actually, no, it was right the first time. And yeah, when the villager is up here, no water down here. And now we could easily fix that. And there you go. So it is possible to get villagers when it's not in breeding mode. They might be able to breed even in water, but it's highly unlikely because they're being jostled around by it. But as you can see, I picked up one, and he has a mighty good trade. I think that's the lowest paper trade in 1.5. And you could trade a lot of emeralds for that. And if you get a baby villager, you might want to press it a couple times, because I've noticed they have quite a bit more health than the adult ones actually. So you could speed it up by doing this. And as you can see, they have a lot more health for some reason. I don't know, it just seems that way. And this guy's bad trade, so we could just get rid of that. Alright, for the last part of this tutorial, let's get any stair block of our choice. As you can see, we have many to work with. And probably for this one, I would use bricks, because it's not really a most used block here. And you want to make sure you have torches as well, because we're going to really finalize this. And the way we conceal all of this is we put bricks or any part of stairs that you're looking for in this pattern, and put it like that. And you want to do the same on this side, and do it like this, and do the same. You don't have to have this, it just makes it more nicer. I feel more welcomed this way. I don't know why, but it's just my interpretation. And you could do something like this, and now it's even more homey kind of feel, but you could get rid of that. This part of the tutorial requires as much resources as you want to commit to this. So this is not required, but is probably recommended if you're going to make projects. I mean, most people would conceal the redstone so it doesn't look confusing, or they just want to hide it. But follow my rhythm here, and you should be able to get around this. And we'll do something like this, and you just build a pattern just like that, and it should look really good in the long run. And you could place the slabs there, but since we're doing this design where I am going around, and you can obviously fill these in with whatever blocks. I'll fill it in with iron, and just so we know. And we're gonna go ahead and keep putting our stair blocks like this pattern, and make sure we don't get rid of that lever, and we're concealing the whole machine this way. And I think it's really cool, so I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope Doc M sees this and likes it, and I'll have to talk to you guys later. I do believe we're running out of time here, so if you guys enjoyed and you want to see something more like this, just let me know. I'm not going to do this very often where I take people's designs and fix them, because what am I really getting out of that? But I just wanted to do it because I'm building it in my world, and I actually saw the video where a lot of people were commenting on his thing saying it's broken. So, just to cut him some slack and fix the problem once and for all. So here it is, guys, and we could either conceal that, or we could do something like that. This part of the build is merely on how you want to build it, and we just want lights everywhere, just so it looks good. And I'm going to go ahead and set the time to night, and that should be night, and it's pretty well lit. And thanks for watching, guys.